The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
I don't know where you stand on this, but I believe that we have no idea who this guy is because every single thing that historians call, his credentials or the evidence of his life has been suppressed and hidden. So you believe that as well?
Yeah, well, one of the most important is who financed his education.
All of it, every bit of it.
Where it looks like the Saudis did.
Now,
A lot of evidence to that effect.
Thank you for saying, Dick. Thank you for saying that. But here's my question: If what's the great line? If you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going. But if you know where you've been, you got a pretty good idea where you're going.
Right.
I would imagine that. His past has been so suppressed and hidden, and there's so many people that talk about Islamic influences and things that he has said. Does he have a foot in that world?
Yeah, well, of course he does.
Yeah.
Of course he does. But I think that, as you point out, he's a lame duck. And I believe that this whole business of, you mentioned they hate each other, the Clintons and the Obamas. I think that a lot of that is staged. I think that we have to understand that Hillary is cut from the exact same cloth.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have two Saul Alinsky presidents back to back. Remember, and again on HillaryDaily.com, we write about this.
The new letters that show
Saul Alinsky letters.
Yeah,
there
absolutely.
are four things. Take them together. An intimate relationship with Saul Alinsky, of constantly talking to him and being his protege. Her first job out of law school was to work for the True Heft law firm in California.
He offered her the job. That's right.
And she accepted. She went out there.
Yeah.
And he was the head of the California Communist Party, like a business card.
Absolutely.
Her first work at the law school was to be observing the Black Panther trial. And then on top of that, she went to work for the Watergate Committee and was fired for stealing documents.
Absolutely.
And hiding them.
Absolutely.
So you have those four things, and I love your phrase. To know where you're going, you have to know where you've been.
Yeah, historians tell us that. You know
where she's been.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
I think that the Clintons and the Obamas, while there are obviously personal issues between them, have in common a fundamental desire to change, not the Clintons, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama have a fundamental desire to change our political system to a point where it becomes a one-party state. Not Bill, but Hillary.
Let me just ask you as a final question. What would happen in this country if the truth of this man's life, Barack Obama, were ever brought to the surface?
I think it would be a real national denouement, which still may come, Peter. I believe that there's a very good chance that when we look back at Barack Obama's presidency, the legacy will be the Great Depression of 2015 and 16. I think we're approaching a serious chance of a major stock market crash, followed by a gigantic recession. And I think that it's entirely possible that we'll be reviewing history with that in mind. But I think that just as we've gone through, it's funny, former presidents and dead presidents have periods where people love them and hate them.
Yes.
Thomas Jefferson's had
Indeed.
a rough ex-presidency.
Indeed.
And I think that Barack
Truman.
Obama is going to have a very tough ex-president.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.